Welcome to our English news edition coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. Diversifying the national economy among the challenges Algeria is trying to overcome and cope with the ongoing developments. As part of the US-Africa Summit, Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman holds several activities in Washington to boost trade and investment. And a conference to back Western Sahara, the last colony in Africa, is staged to boost this stalled process, despite the UN declaration in favor of granting independence to colonized people. Good evening, those were the headlines. On the occasion of the 30th edition of the Algerian Production Fair, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, recalled once again the state's firm will to accompany investors and promote the Algerian production so as to promote the national economy. Melissa Kobash with the details.
This 30th edition is marked by a profound economic reform and a new vision that attaches a great importance to the Algerian product. The measures put in place, in line with the orientations of the President of the Republic and the mobilization of all means to relaunch the national economy, allowed this sector to be more active and based on a new dynamic. Due to the importance of this sector, the military industry will play a key role in his revival.
خطوة كبيرة.
هذا
100 في الصناعة الميكانيكية.
وهذه القاعدة اللي درناها الجديدة تبدأ من لا فوندري، لا فورج، لومبوتيساج، لا طولري، إلى فابريكاسيون حتى البريسيزيون.
وهذا يجسد الكلام اللي قلته أن اليوم لوكوموتيف تاع الاندسترياليزاسيون تاع التصنيع الميكانيكي هي الجيش. بركنا من التركيب فقط التركيب ولا لازم نصنع بعض ولو يعني إدماج نتاع 40-50% رانا انتصار كبير.
The protection and promotion of the Algerian product was also indicated by the President of the Republic with an aim to put an end to imports.
أنا ماذا بيا يوم من الأيام نوقف الامبورتاسيون باش نستهلك البنو تاعي. Il faut être ambitieux. أنا j'ai vu المصنع تاعكم. son démarrage, c'est une excellente chose. وفي غيابكم شكرتكم لأن أول مرة عندنا un pneumatique algérien. أول مرة. Mais il faut aller plus loin. كان إنتاج وطني اليوم حتى بالنسبة للكونتوار كان الإنتاج نتاع الرخام، كان الإنتاج نتاع لو غري كيما هذا. هذه راه حتى في تمرس راه في إنتاج تاع لو غري وتاع إن شاء الله.
In this context, the President recalled the availability of the state in accompanying and supporting investors taking part in this new dynamic.
لما تشوفوا انتوما باللي فيه une concurrence déloyale الجماعة يمشوا يستوردوا لو توك باد جام pour vous concurrencer هنا خبرونا ممنوع حاجة اللي ننتجها أنا ممنوع تجي من الخارج. بصح بشرط أنني نحترم الذوق تاع المواطن والجودة. الصيدال حاولوا يقتلوها عاودوا حيوها. نحيوها إن شاء الله. أنا صيدال إذا ما داتش 40-45% تاع السوق الوطني ما درنا والو.
The President of the Republic listened to several presentations as well as the concerns of the different sectors' representatives.
تاع الجنوب الماء والشمس تحت 70 قنطار في القطار راه يضيع في وقته. خمسنا فيها نوعية تاع الشعير يتقبل الجفاف وعنده روندمون انورم. كم الزيت بون ان شاء الله نوصلوا له في افريل اقصاها افريل ماي تكون عندنا صناعة نتاع الزيت يعني بفضل الإرادة نتاع الرجال الإخوان اللي دخلوا في الصناعة نتاع السكر لهم الحرية المطلقة للتصدير.
The hydrocarbon sector is also included in this new economic vision, namely the gas production dedicated for exports in accordance to the international commitments taken by Algeria. President Tebboune has instructed the acceleration of the delivery of ADL housing units.
الأديال دخلت في تقاليد تاع البلاد حاربوها تخرج في تفاصيل. اليوم الحمد لله الوزارة تدافع عليكم والرئاسة تدافع عليكم والحكومة تدافع عليكم. إذن المفروض يعني ما فيش مشاكل. عندكم بنك تاع السكن دروك.
The head of state recalled once again the state's will in accompanying investors and promote the Algerian production for a real economic relaunch, knowing that facilitations will be granted to investors to help them conquer the African and international markets.
At the end of the visit, the President of the Republic laid the foundation stone of the Exhibition Palace here in Algiers, a new and promising facility. Melissa Kubash once again.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, laid foundation stone of the new Exhibitions Palace, which will extend over 70 hectares. On the occasion of the 30th edition of the Algerian Production Fair, the President reiterated the position of the Algerian product in the African market.
La production nationale تاعنا doit avoir une exposition permanente في les trois capitales المؤثرين في أفريقيا. En attendant d'aller en Afrique du Sud et au Nigeria. Mais هادو le Sénégal qui est la plaque tournante essentielle, la Mauritanie et le Niger. Inch'Allah. في أقرب وقت.
This new project will be achieved according to the latest standards in terms of construction and equipment and will also offer a large number of services for both exhibitors and visitors. It will be equipped with several stands, 2 hotels, an administrative block, office space, and a parking lot. The project's establishment was decided by the President of the Republic so as to offer a better display of the Algerian products. Your decision is important for the preservation of the 55 hectares of the Safex, because in the past, as you were a trade minister, you've decided to launch this project, but was unfortunately stopped. The project will be launched to give a better position to Algeria in terms of international exhibitions. Once over, the company's leaders in different fields will be able to promote their projects and services, which will contribute to the relaunch of the Algerian economy.
The Algerian agricultural products have a good reputation in the foreign markets. After a hiatus dictated by the coronavirus pandemic, exports have resumed and Algerian investors are intensifying their efforts to further conquer the European market. Story by Badi'a Marani, taken up by Najah Tayyar.
The Algerian agricultural products, namely fresh fruit and vegetable grown in the north or the great south of Algeria, are increasingly exported to the African, European and American markets. We are specialized in exporting. Over the past 2 years, we were incapable due to the COVID-19. Now we have exported to European countries, the Gulf countries, England, France and also Canada. The Algerian products are highly demanded due to their good taste. Our company is specialized in agricultural products export since 2019. The Algerian production is of a very high quality and very competitive. We have 150 export operations worldwide a year. One of our goals is to conquer the African markets. The Algerian agricultural products are highly appreciated by local consumers and are becoming more and more known abroad, thanks to numerous export operations initiated by the national economic operators who are keen in providing international standards production. We hope to reach 18 to 100 tons of exports per week of all types of agricultural products, and with the certificate we have, we can export to all countries of the world. The Algerian government encourages the non-hydrocarbon exports such as agricultural products. It is expected to reach $7 billion of exports in 2022. The managers expressed their optimism about the results which will be obtained by 2013. The Algerian Production Fair is an opportunity for Algerian exhibitors to promote their products and their skills, also to exchange their experiences even in the field of exports, to increase the agricultural products exports that the government is heavily backing up as a top priority.
In a different context, Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman, representing the President of the Republic in the U.S.-Africa Summit being held in Washington, D.C., held several activities to sway the economic operators to invest in Algeria and to give a further impetus to national economy. Ines Kalou reports.
The African-American Business Forum went on its second running day of the U.S.-Africa Summit. As a representative of the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister, Ayman bin Abdurrahman, received Executive Directors of Strategy at Hecate Energy, David Wilhelm. Another audience was held with the President of the Exploitation and Production Company Chevron Middle East, North Africa and South America, Klenev. The Prime Minister also received the American Congressman Troy Nehls. The meeting made it possible to review the Algerian-U.S. relations and to reinforce dialogue and cooperation between the two countries. In addition, the Prime Minister also met with members of the Algerian community established in Washington. He listened to their concerns and discussed with them the facilitations and investment opportunities in Algeria. Ayman bin Abdurrahman called for joint effort to restore confidence between citizens, the state institutions and foreign economic operators.
أبلغكم تحيات السيد رئيس الجمهورية عبد المجيد تبون.
First of all, I send you the greetings of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, who assures you his full support. You all know that we are working hard to compensate the shortcomings and put an end to the old management. We are all working hand in hand to recover the dignity of Algeria and also the confidence of citizens in their institutions. We hope to see you in Algeria very soon so that you can participate in this revival and hoist the banner of the new Algeria.
نتمنى إن شاء الله أن نراكم في بلدكم الجزائر اليوم قبل غد حتى تتطلعوا وحتى طبعا تشاركوا في هذه النهضة.
For their part, members of the Algerian community settled in the United States expressed their willingness to contribute to the development of the national economy and their pride for the achievements of Algeria since the election of the President Abdelmajid Tebboune, saying that the important steps taken by Algeria were welcomed worldwide. I wish all the best to my country, Algeria, and I'm very happy to take part in this important event.
الجزائر أكبر بلد في إفريقيا فيها كثير
Algeria is the biggest country in Africa and its large area made it rich by many natural and even human resources. Algeria gave us a lot and it's our turn to serve it. It's a good opportunity for the Algerian community in the United States. We must help and share our experiences. We have a very positive vision for Algeria. We are ready to help and share the experience that we have gained here in America. They also expressed their availability to participate directly or indirectly in implementing the program of the new Algeria, evoking with the Prime Minister the aim, objects and development projects that are currently deemed as top priorities for the government.
In another development, the Energy and Mines Minister Mohamed Arqab received on Wednesday in Algiers an important delegation of the Cuban Republic headed by the Deputy Prime Minister Ricardo Carbisas Ruiz, accompanied by the Minister of Energy and Mines Vincent de la Olive, as well as other high-ranking officials. The discussion centered on prospects of consolidating cooperation, notably in the energy and mines sector. As part of the Algerian-Mauritanian cooperation, the Minister of Public Works, Lakhdar Rakhroukh, and the Mauritanian Minister of Equipment and Transport, Nali Wild Ashrouqa, signed in the National Army Center here in Algiers a memorandum of understanding for the construction of the strategic road linking Tindouf to Essaouira. A meeting on the protection and security of documents in case of natural disasters was held on Wednesday by the National Archives Center so as to raise awareness of the threats and dangers. In a keynote speech made on the occasion, the advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of archives and national memory, Abdelmajid Sheikhi, said that the protection of archives is one of the greatest concerns of every institution of the field. He went on to stress the importance of documents, notably the unique ones and those difficult to recover. In other news, and as part of the fight in terrorism and organized crime in our country, 3 terrorists were killed and other 12 captured by units of the National People's Army. They also foiled several attempts aiming to introduce large quantities of drugs in the regions bordering Morocco. More details with Ines Killo.
terrorism, detachments of the National People's Army eliminated 3 terrorists and arrested one another and recovered 4 firearms, ammunition and other objects. Similarly, another terrorist surrendered to the military authorities in Adrar with 1 Kalashnikov machine pistol and a quantity of ammunition, according to a communique released by the Ministry of National Defense. In the same context, the combined detachments of the National People's Army captured 1 wanted terrorist in El-Wed, while 10 terrorist group support elements were apprehended in separate operations across the national territory. In addition, another AMP detachment intercepted in Tamnarast, in coordination with the National Security Services, 5 individuals of different nationalities. In their possession, 1 Kalashnikov machine pistol, 1 shotgun, and a quantity of ammunition, while 5 homemade bombs were discovered and destroyed during a sweep operation in Jijil province. Within the dynamics of the fight against organized crime and in continuity with the sustained efforts to counter the scourge of drug trafficking in our country, combined detachments of the National People's Army arrested, in coordination with the various security services during operations carried out throughout the military regions, 61 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to introduce huge quantities of drugs from the borders with Morocco, amounting to 11 quintals and 4 kilograms of proceeded cannabis, while they seized 1 Kalashnikov machine pistol, 50,707 psychotropic tablets, and 457 grams of cocaine. In Tamnarast, Burj-Beji, Mukhtar Ain Gizlan, Janet and Tindouf, detachments of the National People's Army intercepted 206 individuals and seized 40 vehicles, 300 generators, 222 jackhammers, 12 metal detectors, as well as detonation tools and equipment used in illegal gold mining operations. 14 other individuals were arrested and 13 hunting rifles, quantities of foodstuffs intended for smuggling and speculation amounting to 31 tons, as well as 11 quintals of tobacco and 27 quintals of copper waste were seized during separate operations throughout the country. In the same way, the border guards foiled, in coordination with the National Gendarmerie Services, attempts to smuggle large quantities of fuel amounting to 39,306 liters in Burj-Beji, Mukhtar, El-Wed, Tibissas, Qahras and Tarif. In addition, the Coast Guards have foiled attempts to immigrate illegally from the national coast and have rescued 66 individuals on board small boats, while 107 illegal immigrants of different nationalities have been arrested throughout the country.
And a conference for solidarity with the Sahrawi people was held under the motto Western Sahara, the last African colony. This conference gathered university students, journalists, as well as parliamentarians in the presence of the Sahrawi ambassador. Najah Tayyar tells us more.
Algeria has always backed all colonized peoples who aspire to snatch their freedom. Concerning Western Sahara, Algeria kept recalling that the only fair and lasting settlement to this conflict is allowing the Sahrawi people to freely exercise their right to self-determination in accordance with the United Nations resolutions. I would like to thank Algeria for holding these events, which witnessed the participation of fervent defenders of the Sahrawi cause that is widely known on the national and even the international scene, an event which also marked by the participation of young people denoting the interest given to the Sahrawi cause. The participants denounced the non-respect of the international law and the complicity of certain countries with the Moroccan occupier, who continues to get away with its worst abuses against the Sahrawi people. The United Nations unfortunately did not realize the justice of the Sahrawi people. Faithful to its principles, Algeria has always played a leading role on the international scene through continuous support for fair causes, the commitment that it continues to practice in the sight of continental and international institutions such as the African Union and the United Nations in order to remind the international community of its historical commitments towards the right of peoples to self-determination.
In a different context, Amnesty International condemned the Moroccan and Spanish authorities for being involved in the death of at least 37 sub-Saharan migrants and concealment of truth. According to a report issued by this non-governmental organization, the methods used to stop the migrants from entering the enclave of Melilla last June resulted in this tragedy. The same report, which contained several revelations of migrants present on that day, in addition to videos and satellite images, back in this serious condemnation. In addition to the daily demonstrations against the high cost of living, the Moroccan people are taking to the streets to denounce the normalization of relations between the Makhzen regime and the Zionist entity, an agreement sealed 2 years ago without taking into account the will of the Moroccan people. And France qualified to the final game of the FIFA World Cup being held in Qatar after beating Morocco with 2-0. The world champions will take on next Sunday the Argentinian side in the final phase of this prestigious competition. And with that, our today's news edition comes to a close. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.